Hey everyone, today I wanted to come on here and do a video of what labor feels like. And when I went into labor with my daughter, I had no idea, no one's ever talked to me about, what it feels like. I had no idea if I was in labor. Because I was very, very sick throughout my pregnancy, and I would go to the hospital because I would feel, this way, I'd feel that way. And they would always just be like, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine, and they would, discharge me from the hospital. So I just got tired of assuming to just go because they never did anything to me. And I had went to multiple different hospitals in my area, and they always just let me go. So when I started to go into labor, I didn't know what these feelings were. And I'm going to tell you the best way to describe it. Everybody's body is different and stuff, but the best way, to tell you how I felt whenever I was in labor. So when it starts, what started was like my back, like the worst period back pain ever. Like it hurt so bad. And then it kind of felt like you need to go to the bathroom. Like you needed to go poop because, I don't know if sometimes eating some spicy food can make people like, oh, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom, especially like I've had my gallbladder removed. So some foods, if it's very oily or something like that, it's like, oh no, I gotta go to the bathroom. I started feeling like that, and my mom had irritable bowel syndrome, so I was like, maybe I'm just having some of that. My mom was diagnosed with it for many years. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's irritable bowel syndrome. So I would constantly, like, they were about 10 to 15 minutes apart when I would feel this awful back pain, and then that pain, like I need to go, it would hit at the same time. And so I would run to the toilet, and of course nothing happened because it was a contraction. That's what it feels like. Awful back pain, and like we know, a period back pain, and then like you need to go to the bathroom. A lot of pressure down in, the butt area. And I went to labor pretty fast. My fiance wasn't home in a city far away from our town, and so which definitely gave me a little bit more anxiety, which probably did not help. And of course, it felt better if I was walking. And if anybody knows, when you're moving and you're walking around, it's going to help you go into labor. It's going to help you dilate faster. I didn't know if it was labor or if it was just another one of me thinking something was wrong. And so I was waiting for him to get home, and I was walking all over the house, because it helped me, the pain feel a little bit better when I was moving. So when he got home, I told him, I was like, I think I may be in labor. I feel this weird pain. This is what I feel. And of course, because he had taken me so many times to the hospital when I felt something. And he's like, it's probably just a little cramp. Maybe the baby's growing. He didn't believe me. And it definitely made me feel like, okay, well, I'm not in labor. I don't know what's going on. He made it seem like it was fine. I should have listened to him, but me being stupid, I just didn't want to, because his whole family, his sisters and him would always be like, well, now we had to take you all the way to, far away to this hospital or to that hospital for no reason, wait there for hours for no reason because you're absolutely fine. And I just didn't want to go through that again. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just a cramp. And it just got so worse over a couple hours. Like, when you say, like, you can't, for someone who's never, had a child before, you can't say this is the worst pain you've ever felt in your life because you've never felt that pain before. Like, you could never imagine that kind of pain that you're gonna feel. It is so painful. And so even delivery, what it feels like to push a baby, it feels like extreme pressure in your butt. It does not feel like it's in your woman area. It feels like it is in your butt. You are pushing out of your butt. Like, that's what it feels like. The baby's coming out of your butt. That's the best way to describe it. And of course I'm like, is this normal? It feels like I need to go to the bathroom. It feels like I need to go to the bathroom. I'm screaming or I'm delivering, and they're like, it's okay, it's normal. Yes, that's good. Keep pushing. It's just a crazy experience, because when you like watch movies and stuff and you see this stuff on TV, you see women, and they're just screaming the whole time, and there's the baby. Realistically, no, you're not just, I screamed for like 3 seconds, but the main part of that, when you're pushing, it took me about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to push my baby out. And when you're doing that, you have to hold your breath. You have to hold your breath and push, because you are not going to be able to be screaming and trying to push a baby. It's not going to happen. When you go to give birth, they're going to have hold your breath, put your face down, and hold your legs and push. You're not going to be able to be trying to push a baby. It's not going to happen. Of course, the pain was so bad, I let one scream out right before she came. One scream out that lasted like 5 to 3 seconds. It was very quick. It was a quick scream, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get her out if I wasn't holding my breath to push. But I didn't have, I had an epidural, but they didn't give me much, and it wore off. Because when my fiance's sister went into labor, they constantly had pain medicine going through her. So she was able to push this baby out, and it was absolutely fine. She was smiling, watching in the mirror as she's pushing the baby out. No, I definitely, I didn't have that luxury of the pain medicine. I didn't. It was just awful, awful pain. And my daughter was preemie, so, I didn't tear or anything, because she was 3 pounds whenever she was born. And, but she was so small, I didn't tear. And one thing that you have to remember, it's really hard when you can feel the baby's about to come out. Finally, the baby's about to come out after you pushed for so long. You can feel that. But try your best when you're pushing to do a very slow push, because the slower your push goes when the baby's actually coming out, the less you're going to tear. And that's what I did with my daughter, because even the doctor even though with her being so small, she was like, oh, you didn't tear her. She was surprised I didn't tear, even with my baby being as small as she was. So that's one thing that, I know it's going to be hard, but you can do it. Just think, you're going to know when that baby's about to come out, after that long pushing. You just go as slow as you can, and it will help you not tear. Or it's going to, especially having a bigger baby, you're most likely going to tear, but it will prevent it from tearing a whole bunch. Because my mom, she was also pretty young whenever she had my brother. She tore really bad. She tore to her butt, and she had to get a whole bunch of stitches, and she had to have, my father help her whenever she needed to wipe, because she couldn't do it herself, because she tore so bad, because she just, wanted the baby out. She pushed all her might, wanted that baby out. And, she was also young too, so that didn't help that situation at all. So I just wanted, for all the women that are pregnant, or just people wondering, what does it feel like? That's what a contraction feels like. That's what it feels like pushing out a baby. Extreme, extreme pressure, like you are going poop. That is exactly what it feels like. Exactly like it's your butt. It is back pain that you can imagine, period back pain in your lower back, hitting you at once, and the contractions in your stomach, you start to further on, it gets from, so you have, the back pain, then you have it feels like you need to go poop, and then you have that pain, up in your ovaries, like what you would feel on your period, that it is just so intensified, and it just feels like it gets bigger and bigger, moving up your stomach the whole way. The longer you go, the more dilated you get, it just increases. So you're hunched back, you're like this, you're hunched back. I was hugging a pillow. It was just the worst pain ever. That's pretty much what it is. And it was so shocking, you know, because I had no idea. People, when they're kind of describing a contraction, they're like, it's a lot of pressure and tightening in your stomach. Well, that's true, but what the pain is different, you know, the sharp pain that gets to you is just different. It's such an awful experience. It's an awful experience, y'all. And of course, I'm pregnant with my son right now, so I don't know how, you know, that delivery will go. I want to do an in-depth, you know, whole delivery and thing about my daughter, you know, because she was preemie and I did have a lot of complications. You know, I was very, very sick throughout my pregnancy. So I hope that answered, you know, some of your questions, and you have a better idea of what it's like for all you new mamas, or just people wondering in general, you know, what does that feel like? What does labor feel like? I would like to do an in-depth video of me, the whole, you know, pregnancy and the delivery process with my daughter. Y'all can just let me know if y'all want to see that in the comments. You let me know, please. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video was helpful. Please like and comment and subscribe.